Hello all, welcome to attorneys.com. In this session, we'll discuss about how do we invoke a PL/SQL function from OIC. Let's see the content. So the prerequisite for this one is we'll be using a table called EMP, and the database, the PL/SQL function name you can observe here. The name is xxora_emp_department_count_function. We have one input parameter, one output parameter, as well as a return of data type number. And generally, we know that like whenever you create a function, it will always have a return type. Now, when you're having a return type, what is the need of out parameter? So the logic here we have to understand is OIC will never consider the return value of a function. So it always requires an out parameter if at all if you want to receive a value to OIC from the database. So that's the reason what we have done here if you observe carefully. So even though we are returning the L_count as per the PL/SQL logic or the PL/SQL validity of the syntax, we are returning the value of the count variable which we are receiving from L_count into a out variable called O_count. So this O_count will be considered as a result value in the OIC. Okay, that's the thing we have to keep in mind. Now, so what are components require? We require a REST trigger connection, ATP connection, and integration of type application. And in this OIC integration, we are considering one input parameter department number and one output parameter status. So this is a REST connection trigger, and you can observe here that we just don't have any security, username, password authentication, just a simple authentication with a role trigger. And then you can see the ATP connection, wherein you require a service name, security, wallet, file, wallet password, username, password. And then once your OTP is configured, let us see the final integration, how it would look like when we design. So you can observe the first element, we are invoking the trigger REST element, REST connection. And then just observe this invoke activity, wherein we are invoking our ATP DB function. So this requires one input parameter that is mapped via invoke DB function using ATP. The last one, this is for the purpose of mapping the result what we received from the database function, invoke DB function, that is mapped to the status output variable. So that's the logic we are building. And this is the expected result. Let us say if you provide the input as department number 30, you should be able to get the output as department count 6 like this, right? So now let us try to design this integration from the scratch now. Okay. So for understanding purpose, I'll try to show the connections which we have done. Let me search it. So this is a REST connection which I was talking about. A simple role of trigger, access type public gateway, a security auth 2.0. That's it. Okay. Now let us see the ATP connection also. ATP. This is our ATP connection, and you can see the parameters: service name, security, wallet zip file, wallet password, username and password. Okay, these are the details which we have to mention in our ATP connection. Now, let's go to the integration. Now we'll design our integration. So I'll try to, you can just see the existing integration. This is how it will be. And similar one will design now from the scratch. Let's click on create application, and I'll name it as same thing, underscore test. Click on create. Okay. So now here, REST connection, OIC. Invoke PL/SQL function. So we'll just add one input parameter and one output parameter, and just go with a slash as the endpoint. Department number is input. And here, let's set the output variable, department count. I'll just provide an example like 10. Sample response. Now click on continue, finish. So the rest trigger element is configured. The next thing is we need to invoke our PLC call function. So just click on this element, select the connection, ATP, ATP connection OT, invoke ATP, or I'll say invoke ATP PLC call function, invoke PLC call function. Next, click on continue. Select the key. And here we need to select our function, the below one. And observe carefully here, it shows the list of output parameters which it has, even though it is having the out variable, which is nothing but the default, like out, what you call the return value of what we have in the PLC call function, which is a position 0 that is never considered by OIC. So whatever you have either at the position 1 and 2, these will be considered, nothing but the one which when O underscore count is nothing but our out variable, and P underscore department number, which will be our input variable. Okay. Finish. So we have to map the input as well as we have to map the output. Okay. So we need to pass the input value to this function via using this map, which is generated just now. Click on this one, click on edit. Map the input department number to the P underscore department number. So query parameter department number. This should be mapped to P department number, nothing but which will pass to the PLC call function. And now once the PLC call function is triggered, it will generate the output, right? That will be available in the O variable of the PLC call. That should be mapped to the rest trigger output. So now after the PLC call invocation, just click on this plus symbol. Now click on action, click on map. Now we'll be creating a mapping on the trigger element which is available. Nothing but the first endpoint which we created, right? That one. So click on create, the rest connection, I mean. And here you can see the response wrapper of PLC call. We have created this particular variable department count, and the invoke ATP PLC call function response, we should be having the output variable, right? This one, O count. This is the one to be mapped to this variable. So click on validate, go back, and then, and the pending one, you have to set the primary business identifier. Now click on this three dots, click on run. Now let's provide some value. I'll just say department number 10. Click on run. Let's see what is the count it will generate. We got the depart count as 2. We can validate the similar logic from the SQL one. So you can observe here department number 10 has count of 2. Department number 30 has count of employee 6. Let us try that also. Let us see if I provide department number as 30, what is the output it will generate? Just see the count. Generate 6, right? So this is how we can invoke a PLC call function from OIC. So the only thing you have to consider is what are the return type which you have in the PLC call function that is not considered. Only the out variable, which if at all has a PLC call, which at all, if at all your PLC call function is having out variable, only that can be considered as the end result. Okay. Thank you.